What's up guys, welcome back to another video, hope you're all doing well today. Today I had a little bit of a funny video, and honestly in the grand scheme of things it's probably some of the most fun I've had on this game in a very long time. I am quite an enjoyer of the pit bikes in this game, although I don't get to ride them very often, just because you just don't really see many servers up on them. Now in this video I'm riding the 2-stroke equivalent, which I think has got a 125 engine in it, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I did post out when I was recording this just to see how many people we could get in a server, and I think we only ended up getting about 10 or to 12-ish or so. So a little bit disappointing, but I did have a race with the undisputed pit bike champ, aka Jams, or in this video, his name is Gibby of iCarly Racing, which is a beautiful name, by the way, I just have to say. So it turns out about 60% of you watching this video haven't pressed the subscribe button yet. Please feel free to do so, I post every single day, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Enjoy the video. And this race was, I think it was an 8-minute plus 1 lap race, and I'd done one race prior to this, which I didn't record for the sole basis of there wasn't really that many people in. But I thought I'd turn the recording on for this, see how it goes, and honestly some of the battles were just incredible. Like I don't understand how, I mean I do understand actually, it's all purely down to traction, but lately on the big bikes, on the 450s, if I get into a rut, my bike never really seems settled, seems stable at all. It's always twitching about a little bit, the front end will twitch or it'll stand itself up, and it's incredibly frustrating, and I've just kind of come to accept that that's how the game is, and you kind of got to find a way around it. But on the pit bikes, for whatever reason may be, these things handle ruts incredibly. You'd think for the smaller wheelbase they'd be a little bit sketchy. I mean, it's very easy to loop them out, I will say that much, and there's so much grip on the front wheel that if you turn a bit too tight, the front end will knife and basically make you do a front flip and just spit you over the front. But the racing's great. The collisions on them are a little bit boofed, because I believe in this game, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I'd greatly appreciate it. Massive step up, by the way, can barely get over all the jumps on this track. I believe that it's only the tyres on the pit bikes that have collisions, so most of the time you can basically warp inside of someone and come out relatively unscathed, and it actually just makes for better racing, in my opinion. I love being able to bang bars for people in this game rather than just getting like Perboso netcoded across the map. So there goes Gibby, he's on the floor. I go into the lead. There are some cuts here and there because I thought, for the sake of this video where I just kind of want to show you myself and Jams having a little bit of a rip around. Call me Axel, by the way, landing on the back wheel after a dirty little scrub, love that. I didn't see much point in just leaving the dead bits in the middle of me riding around by myself, and I did wait up a little bit here and there, and Jam's done the same for me just so we could have a nice battle. And I want to say that we was hot lapping on this track before I started racing, and I had the edge on him, barely. I'm coming for that pit bike crown, I'm telling you now. We'll see what the final result is of this race, but I'm feeling pretty good on him. And there's something very satisfying in this game especially, but there's some corners on this track that you can go into and you haven't got to shut off going into them. You can bang it down one gear, but you can basically keep it pinned the entire time. And you see right here that I get into Jams a little bit because of the collisions. It was relatively unscathed, it was okay. Yeah, this step up here was definitely a difficult one. You've really got to stretch it out, and I love, because the pit bikes are so small, that you can see the entirety of the bike once you like stretch it out and get the front end higher. It's just very interesting to watch. And I think on the pit bikes as a whole, I think the gearing is probably the most important thing. I was running something slightly longer originally, but I've always found the difference between 4th and 5th was a little bit too big, so I would just bog between one and the other. And then Sorry was in this server, and he sent me a setup which I won't mention the name of. Something about escaping on the pitter. If you know, you know. And yeah, it was much better. I instantly went like 2.5 or so seconds faster on one of my laps. And look how that just handled that rut there. Sorry, if I went into a corner that speed on one of the normal bikes, it just wouldn't happen. And I want to say, I don't know if it's 100% or not. I want to say that this video is going live on the 6th of January, which, spoilers alert, is also the same day that the MX2 and MX1 OEM bikes are meant to be dropping. So, I can't really talk too much crap on... Hello, darkness, my old friend. Completely forgot to put that in there, by the way. I'm just completely talking over it here in post-commentary. get a meme in there every now and then. Why not? Yeah, the new OEMs are meant to be coming out today, so I'm interested in seeing what time they'll release, see if I can get a video up. And I'm not sure, at the point of recording this, I think it's a bit up in the air on what's happening with the Supercross race that's meant to be happening today. If this is uploaded on the 6th, that is. Because I think they might overlap. And I imagine that people with the less than amazing internet speeds might find themselves in a little bit of a stressful situation. In my mind, I think the best thing to do would be release the OEMs as normal on the 6th, and then when it comes to the test race for the 2023 Supercross season, I say push it back maybe to the Saturday after, so on the 7th. I mean, it is a test race, after all. It's not part of the actual series itself, although I know people do want to get the practice in. And then other pros I can think of is people get a little bit more time to switch between a couple of bikes to see what they enjoy, maybe test out a suspension setting or two. And I know obviously some people are affected all the time when days change, but it being on a Saturday, I think it just lends itself to more people being available. Especially with Europe, for example. Maybe not so much NA, in terms of if you weren't going out, like riding in real life, you might have a busy evening washing the bikes or whatever it may be. But I know a lot of people in Europe right now are just kind of done for winter. The weather's absolutely awful, so yeah, I think Saturday's a good move. And for selfish reasons as well, if the OEM's release on the 6th, then I've not got to rush to try and get a video uploaded, like recorded, rendered, uploaded, all before the race starts, like for Aerial, because I don't think my internet could handle uploading a video and live streaming at the same time. I just don't think it's built like that. And then if it was on a Saturday release, or if the race was on a Saturday, sorry, there'd be a lot more people about to watch it, I think, because then it would be suitable for the US as well as the EU. And I noticed that when I done my last live stream on Sunday, well, second to last live stream, which was on Sunday for public lobbies, there was a lot more people about because the Americans got involved as well. I know some of the Australians are in there too, so it wasn't just the European scene, which is quite nice. As a content creator, you want as many people as possible being able to view your videos. Here we go, going to the inside here. Can we get past Gibby? Yeah, he absolutely blows the rut. And again, that little part of blowing the rut right there, I feel like it wouldn't have gone that way if I was on the big bikes. You know what happens when you kind of get too high in a rut on the big bikes. They just suddenly ping you out and you do a backflip, and there's no chance of saving it whatsoever. So if you haven't tried these two-stroke pit bikes yet, I 100% recommend you do so. I'll link them down in the description for you, and I'll put a link to this Sherco skin that Green Lennox made for it as well, which I think is very, very, very lovely. I wish we had full Sherco models in the game. Like, same as we got betas. I was really happy when we got the beta model in beta 17 OEMs, and if we could ever get a Sherco at some point, I'd be a very, very happy man. If you want like a time scale, I think, of all of the OEM stuff, so I think today the 6th is when the MX1 and MX2 bikes, all 4 strokes, are being released, and then around, I think it's like mid-February time, is when all of the 2 strokes and the electric bikes are being done. And then I think a little bit further down the line is going to be MX3 and some other weird and wonderful ones. If my memory serves me right, that's just going off of what I remember seeing last night. But I've slept since then, and I'm a very, very forgetful person, so who knows, that could have completely changed. One thing I'm very, very excited for is my Discord and memberships are almost ready to go. I plan on doing it either later today or any time soon. Thank you very much, Smigdamp, for helping me out in that regards and getting all the bots and permissions and everything set up. And in terms of memberships, might do a community post. I might do a separate video detailing it all. But essentially, there's 3 tiers. We've got Rookie, Intermediate, and Pro, all varying levels of support and perks and such. You know, just how normal memberships go. And just massive thank you to Reaperdoc for pushing me to kind of get that all sorted, because I suppose now this is my full-time job, essentially, for the time being. It's best to kind of capitalise on it and make the most of it whilst you can, and I do think that's something that I've been limiting myself on quite a lot. But that'll do it from me. A little bit of a shorter video, but it was quite a short race overall. Really, really fun racing. 100% recommend doing these. If you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. Until I catch you in the next video. Peace.